Welcome to the Burnt Mountain Preserve, which is home of the Champion Creek Trail, a quiet but steep 2.2 mile loop. But here's what we're going to do while we take this hike. We're going to tell you the story of the resort that almost was the Tate Mountain Estates. It was meant to be a retreat for Georgia's wealthiest families, and for a short time it was, but today nature has taken it back, thankfully. All right, everybody, welcome to Burnt Mountain Preserve. It's just over 900 acres of quiet forest, creeks, and trails. It sits at about 2,500 feet or 762 meters in elevation. It's peaceful, it's wild, and it's a great place to take a walk in the woods. But about 100 years ago, someone had a very different idea for this beautiful mountain. It was in June of 1928 that Sam Tate, yes, that Sam Tate, who made his fortune in the Georgia marble industry, decided this place needed something more. I'll tell you that more after you watch me fall. Hold on one second. So that more that Sam Tate wanted was an entire resort town, complete with a golf course, a man-made lake, a lodge, and an airstrip, and he called it Tate Mountain Estates. Lake Sequoia was designed as the centerpiece of Tate Mountain Estates, with a dam built to create a scenic lake surrounded by summer homes. But this wasn't just a small mountain getaway. Sam Tate had plans for a full-fledged resort, and in order to bring it to life, he hired E. Burton Cook, the same landscape architect behind the Biltmore Estates and Warm Springs, Franklin D. Roosevelt's retreat in Georgia. But there was a timing problem, just as we had trouble navigating the correct blazes.
Oh boy, decisions. Do we go left? Do we go right? Do we go left? Do we go right? Since we're both left-handed, we tend to go left. So, here we go. Left-handed people. Left-handed trails. Orange blaze. All right. We're doing the orange blaze. Here we go. So, turns out orange blaze is just back to the parking lot. So, we are turning around. All right. So, do we go left? Do we go right? Left is just back to the parking lot. So, let's go right, actually. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go right. Yeah, I do my own stunts. And I do my own sound effects. That's right.
So if you paid attention to the year that Tate Mountain Estates started, it would have been 1928. Well, the stock market crashes in 1929, kicking off the Great Depression, and suddenly getting a vacation home in the mountains was not a priority for most people. While the resort never became quite what Tate imagined, and I think that's actually a good thing because we still have this beautiful green space, a small community did grow here and some of the property did get developed.
I have nearly fallen. I guess you could technically say I've fallen once and nearly fallen like 3 times. Even though people's dogs are laughing at me. It's a sort of steep, but there's lots of things to step on that'll just send you roller skating or sliding down the hill. 9 out of 10. It's a lot of fun, actually. So I'm having a great time.
At the heart of the community was the Connahaynee Lodge. I hope I'm saying that correct. Connahaynee. A 2-story building made from locally sourced chestnut wood and quarried stone. It was meant to be a gathering place for local visitors and for rich people to come from Atlanta and hang out. It had over 30 guest rooms. It had a vaulted lounge anchored by a massive fireplace and even slot machines in an alcove near the dining room. Since Pickens County was a dry county at the time, the lodge was also one of the only places in the area where you could buy beer, which certainly added to its appeal. It was also close to a place called Moonshine Mountain, which is rumored to have also have been sold at the Connahaynee Lodge.
Looks like we have another pine tree getting pushed out by the hardwoods here. Oh, looks like it might have taken one hardwood out with it on the way. But pretty cool. Easy to still get through.
Beyond the lodge, Tate planned an 18-hole golf course, bringing in Stiles and Van Cleek, a firm that had designed more than 300 courses across the country. Even legendary golfer Robert Trent Jones had contributed to the design. There was also plans for a dude ranch with horse stables, a gym, a large activity hall, and this is just, again, all centered around Lake Sequoia, and it's this place where all these wealthy families from Atlanta could come and escape the summer heat in the mountains. But again, as we mentioned earlier, there was a small problem: the Great Depression and the stock market crash.
Oh no, somebody lost a beautiful red scarf. That looks hand knitted too. I hope the owner returns to rescue this beautiful red scarf. By the time this video goes up, if you see this red scarf on the trail, please give it a good home. Way off in the distance, I can hear some water. But I can tell before we get to that water, it's gonna be a long way down.
And on the subject of long way down, the lodge initially had success for a couple of years, but then after struggling, Sam Tate had to file for bankruptcy in 1934. And then in the 1940s, the community was still barely hanging on. And unfortunately, in March of 1946, the Connahaynee Lodge burned to the ground, and that was pretty much the end of the dream of Tate Mountain Estates.
All right, after what was some really steep downhill, it is finally sort of flattened out. We're still headed downhill, just at a much more reasonable grade. Still on White Blaze, but this trail is going to be really tough going up. We don't usually film the going up portion. Maybe we'll do a little this time, but this is not going to be an easy trail to come in and out of. So just a heads up. Once you go down that stuff, you have committed, so prepare accordingly. And just like that, shortly after it levels out, you see why. I can't say enough about how beautiful this is. I mean, just absolutely stunning, gorgeous, some great rock hunting, tons and tons of different types of rocks, so totally worth getting down here to check this out, even if the trail can be tough at times. The payoff is worth it. All right, so as you leave the falls, you just take a right back onto White Blaze, and this should loop back to the parking lot. I believe it was a couple miles, something like that. Oh man, it's so pretty. You can still see it from the trails. Another little access path if you want to get down there. And we're doing this in winter. It is January, and we both have on just a long sleeve t-shirt. So it's very comfortable hike, even in January. Even when there's ice on the falls, like we're both actually sweating. So it's worth it. Get out here. Well, what do we have here? A reoccurring theme. Oh, we got a deep old hole. Where does it go? As seen in my other videos, you ever find a scary looking dark hole in the woods and wonder what's inside? Let's find out. All right, so we've got the Insta360 X4 with the premium lens guard so we can bump around. And we've lit it up a little bit, and we're gonna go as deep as we possibly can inside this little spring. So here we go. Okay, I'm touching something in the back, I don't know what. That's about all I can see and feel. I don't know if I can get much further than that. Alright, that's what's in the scary hole, everybody. I can't wait to stick my camera in another deep and dark and scary hole, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy finding out what's inside all those scary places in the woods. And after a short walk alongside the creek after the falls, it begins. The uphill. Take your time, pace yourself, and try to enjoy the uphill. We have two trees that apparently seem to be fighting. I wonder who's gonna win. Do you think they'll learn to exist peacefully, to coexist together? Who's gonna win? They're both still alive. Maybe they're just holding each other up. You may run into a few trees down. Looks like this one's been down for a while. But again, easy to cross, easy to get around.
One thing I wanted to point out is it's January and look how much green there still is all around the forest. It was very lush and green even for it being January. This is definitely a Tazumi Woods approved hike. It's a short hike and has a decent amount of elevation change, but definitely a Tazumi Woods approved hike. I would for sure check it out. Totally worth it.
These trees are just incredible. They're majestic and gnarled and just looming over you. It's awesome.
Today, Tate Mountain Estates is still a small private community, and Burnt Mountain Preserve, where we're hiking today, remains open to the public. So instead of a massive resort, it's a place where the forest, streams, and trails are mostly untouched. And it's exactly the way I would want it. I'm so glad that the resort and the golf course did not get built and the mountain remains open to the public.
All right, I'm just going to take a quick video because I'm not going to film all the huffing and puffing, but we're about to head up, up, and away. See everybody at the top. Whew, not bad. And after that, you just take a right. Whew. Much easier. Like I said in the beginning, you gotta go up, up, up. I know I've said this before, but this does feel like we're walking in the bad guy part of Lord of the Rings. It's all rocky and craggy, and definitely where a bad guy would live. I don't know if I've ever seen a tree so twisted before, but wow. That is wild. And after all that climbing from way down there, we're back on the yellow white blaze.
And that's basically it for this hike and for the story of the resort that almost was. Thanks for coming along. If you like exploring these kind of places, let me know in the comments. If you have any hiking trails with some history you'd like to suggest I check out, please leave that in the comments. And we'll see you later for more adventures with Tazumi Woods. Thanks a lot, y'all. Bye-bye.